Would all of the children of 4th Street please join me up front? And you can sit on the floor, or you can move some books if you want to, put those on the floor, and you can sit there. Amy, you hold that. So, it's good to see everybody. Do you have any more folks? A couple more back there? Everybody's back in school. Some of you have started school for the first time. Some of you not just yet, but pretty soon. How many of you are in school somewhere? Kindergarten, nursery school, or a lot of you are, yeah. Ollie, you want to stay here and see Church Mouse? Ollie. Oh, I have your picture, okay. Parents, you're welcome too. Grandparents, everyone can come. So, anybody remember who this is? Who is it? Anybody? Everybody. Church Mouse. Okay, Church Mouse is back again after a restful and busy and productive summer. One of the things that happened over the summer, Church Mouse didn't do this, but some of Church Mouse's cousins wrote a book. They wrote a book about, take that word right there, worship, a book about worship. Now, does anybody know what worship is? Because Church Mouse is going to want to talk to you about worship for the next few weeks. What is worship? When you're thankful for stuff?
What we are doing right now.
What we are doing right now? And we play. We do something.
Praising and praying.
Praising and praying to God. Any adults want to chime in on what you think worship is? Guess you've got it covered. Okay. Now, Aiden, can you hold that for me? Hold it up here a little bit here. Now, in this book, you can see Church Mouse's cousins wrote it about mice worshiping. See? See all the mice that are worshiping? And they're sitting there in the church. And the first thing that they wrote about was called the Prelude. Does anybody know what a prelude is? Who knows what a prelude is? What do you think a prelude is? What is a prelude? Well, it can be, yes. Aiden?
A prelude is the beginning of the book.
A prelude can be the beginning of a book.
The prelude is what is the introductions and songs we sing before we sing Exodus.
Right, it can be that, and for the prelude, the organist plays music, or the pianist, or somebody else, as the case may be. So that's the piece we're going to talk about this morning. Talk a little bit about worship. The prelude is something that comes before. It comes before we start our worship, but it's kind of a part of the worship service. It's a good time. Worship starts at 11. What time do you think the prelude starts? What do you think, David? 10:55. Aiden? 10:45. Anybody else? 10:50. It starts a few minutes before worship. And it's a wonderful time to go into the sanctuary, which right now the Great Hall is our sanctuary. It's a wonderful time to go into the sanctuary and prepare our hearts to worship God and to hear what God has to say for us. To be still, to think about the week. So I would like, Church Mouse wants to go over and ask a question of Mr. Ray. And so if all of you could come with me over here, we want to interview the person who did the prelude this morning. Okay, so we have a prelude, Mr. Ray, that helps us get ready for worship. And you're the one that has to plan and prepare that for us. So what do you think about when you're getting ready for that for us?
Usually when I look at the music for the week, I ask Pastor Sharon to let me know the focus of the service for the day. And then I'll base off my selection of the prelude with music that would support the theme of the service, the theme of worship. And some other times, if it's, I'll base it on what's going on in the world, usually, or current events or history. In April, I always do Near My God the Thee as a prelude on the Sunday closest to the sinking of the Titanic. So I kind of do things like that in between. Yes? Nope, I think we have most of it right here, but most of the stuff that I do play is up in the noggin.
Any other questions you have for Mr. Ray? The question was, does he have to memorize all the music? And he said, no, he didn't have to memorize all of it. Okay, let's go back and sit down just for a minute. Watch the chord. Okay, so today we talked a little bit about what worship is, and we talked about the prelude, the part that comes before the formal worship service, a time to prepare ourselves for God. So let's try to remember that, because we're going to start talking about the other parts of worship too. Can we have a prayer together? Let's pray. God, thank you for the chance to come worship you. Thank you for beautiful music. Thank you for moments before we begin to reflect and to think and to pray and to let you touch our hearts and get us ready to worship you and to hear your word for us. Amen. Thank you for coming. And now you can go downstairs with Miss Judith. Music time. That sounds fun.